Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. I am Robert John. This is my brother Mike.
Hello.
And my other brother Skylar.
Stop war.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop war.
Dropping war.
Is that
Stop
the
dropping war.
next Christmas song to be banned?
Could be.
Yeah.
You know what? It could be. Why not? Like
I haven't
people...
gone through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah. Neither have I, but I don't think it's supposed to be a Christmas song, is it?
The Christmas song?
What
The
the hell
John
are you
Lennon
talking
Christmas
about?
song?
Yeah, it's not a real Christmas song, is it?
Sure it is. Isn't the fucking chorus have a Merry Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year? It literally says have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's the UNICEF song, isn't it? The fucking
Yeah, but the whole
Save
song
a Child
is
a
about...
Day?
Yeah, but the song's
song
called
isn't
Stop
about-
War, isn't it?
Yeah, like war is over if you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
it,
or
is what
something.
it says. The
Whatever
whole,
the fuck.
It's like war is over if you. It's done in like a Christmas carol. I'll give you that.
If you
but
say Merry Christmas in your song, it's a fucking Christmas song.
is that right?
Just get
Okay.
that out of the way. Yeah.
Does that
If
mean
you-
like Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Of course.
Yeah.
Batman Returns.
Christmas
Christmas. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
movie. Gremlins, Christmas.
Yeah. Gremlins Christmas. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's obviously Christmas. I'm just trying to think like, I don't know. I don't think it's a. I think it just got hijacked. That
Yeah.
the
By
John
UNICEF.
Lennon song by UNICEF.
Yeah.
Are they the ones that hate the gays or?
That's the Canadian Red Cross. That is...
It's the Red
Are
Cross?
they?
No, it's
Oh, yeah. They're big on it.
no.
Yeah!
They hate gay people.
Of
Why?
course. Salvation Army. All of those
Salvation Army. That's what I was thinking. Of.
Wow. They hate the gays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. You can't share
Big
clothes
haters.
with gay people.
No.
Well,
how you
everyone
get
knows
it.
that. That's how you get. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Watching too much porn and sharing fucking clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they don't like. I don't think they like gay people get married. The Salvation Army,
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
and I mean it's
Well, I
the
guess
army. They
they're
don't
an-
like gay people either, right? Like
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
ask,
Yeah.
don't tell.
They're a non-for-profit, right? Like, so I guess who gives a shit? They can take any stance they want. They're not worried about making money.
Yeah, they're not giving back.
They're not giving anything back. Soiled
No.
clothes. Give each other some friggin' mites or whatever the hell you got from them.
The plague, yeah.
Got some plague from the Salvation Army.
Yeah, pre-plague.
So you think though that the John Lennon song that's gonna be the next one to get banned?
I haven't gone
pulled
through
from
it,
the
man,
airwaves?
but I saw someone was,
I don't even know it.
kicking a fuss up about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's on its on the axe.
Why,
Why?
is
'Cause
it racist now or
'Cause he
something?
does a lot of coke.
Because
right?
it's it starts with him being bullied and shit, and then the moral of the story is that you're only useful if you have a skill at the end.
Okay.
Wow, I don't think they're wrong.
When you
Well,
dissect
that's
it,
not
yeah, no,
wrong,
it's
but I
completely
guess
true.
2018,
What about, so,
everyone
does
should
that
have
mean-
skills.
Ugh. What about Rudy? What about that movie Rudy? Is that not inspirational? Was he not bullied? Is that not the real life
I don't think
story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed
it
Reindeer?
Is
is.
that like the animated one with the abominable snowman? Is
Yeah.
that the one you're thinking? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
That little weird elf?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Yukon
the
Cornelius.
Salvation Army definitely hates that movie because
Of
that
course.
kid is gay.
That little boy, yeah.
So is that
Little boy
lumberjack
is
in the
gay.
end.
Yeah, the lumberjack. the lumberjack. Yukon Cornelius. Wasn't
Yeah,
a
that guy's
lumberjack.
he was a friggin' man.
What are they called? Dudes that look
A bear.
for gold. I thought he wasn't a
Oh,
bear.
Prospector.
Prospector, that's
Prospector.
the one,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Fuck that.
Whatever.
Do you think that the guy being bullied his whole life and then getting to pull Santa's sleigh is a bad moral for children? Then maybe just don't celebrate Christmas.
You shouldn't have children
Yeah.
if you're that soft.
That
No
too.
kidding. Or just
Throw
ban it
rocks at
all.
your kids.
Ban it all.
Ban it all.
I don't know if you remember this kid, Skylar, we were friends with when we were little. He lived across the street from one of my friends, and he was adopted, and it's such a mama's boy. And whenever we'd play like road hockey in front of this kid's house, he'd like come out and play with us, but his mom would stand there and watch and make sure he didn't like get hurt or anything. Like it was so fucking sad. It was like my first encounter with a helicopter parent in like the mid '90s. Like she would just stand there, cheer him on, and it was so sad. And then one time he wanted to play goalie. I'm like, yeah, sure, dude, you can play goalie. And he put on like the Jason style like plastic mask. And I blasted a slap shot at him, and it smacked him right in the face. And then just blood sprayed out all the like little holes. Like I broke his nose real good. And his mom was so mad. And then he was never allowed to play hockey
Next time you played with him, mom's yelling, "Hack the bone! Hack the bone!" Yeah.
Oh, friggin' internet.
Oh, yeah. RJ's frozen on his dumb face. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that kid. That kid was
He looks super jolly. He almost looks like the elf.
I'm back.
Yeah.
This fucking internet.
Oh, he's back.
It's Romanian internet.
This guy wants to be a dentist.
Again. But I'm back. Or am I?
Yeah, he's gone again. That's like that's like if someone was trying to take a picture of a pedophile on the street and they didn't want the pedophile to see. Them take it. That's the picture that's up right now.
Or it's not even the picture that they don't want you to see. It's like just the picture because the convenience store has the shitty camera, right?
Shitty camera, like, yeah. Oh, he's back.
Do you ever see those where it's just like the police have released this camera footage and want the public to notify them if they know them, and it's like always the shittiest picture, and it's like how can you can't make out anything in that? Like
that could be 3 of my family members.
Yeah, at this point, it's like Stephen Avery. They just grab anyone off the street. Like, well, I'm sure he's got a gray, fuzzy shirt. Fucking.
What is going on with this guy? Figure it out.
Figure it out, bud.
You're the brains of this bitch.
Go find a Canadian Tire.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You find yourself a Canadian Tire there in Romania.
Yeah.
Get some free internet.
Tire.
Romanian Tire. It's just rims.
Well, I mean, like, they gotta fucking find something new. The lettuce isn't really doing the trick these days. The romaine. It's always just a coli out, full of poop.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit is, it's getting weird. Eventually, they're gonna tell us not to eat vegetables. Just meat and dairy. That's part of a balanced diet.
Yeah, just eat each other and thin out the populations. That's how I feel.
Yeah. 2020, baby.
It's 2018.
I'm just looking forward. I'm just looking forward to the future. You know? That's the year where we eat everybody, yeah.
It's like The Purge, but better.
I saw this wicked art online, and it was like Operation, like the game Operation. And it was like Operation 2050. And it was like, now with 10,000 volts. And it was just a dude getting electrocuted.
Wow.
It was cool.
That's cool. Great.
Yeah. Are you there, RJ? Say something. Blink so we know you're... Oh, no, he's frozen.
No, he's frozen. He's popping in and popping out.
Mm-hmm. Get your Wi-Fi hotspot going if you can hear us. Because we are pulling weight here.
Oh my god, my back is already sore.
Yeah.
I saw a thing the other day that apparently Tennessee has brought back the electric chair, and they're killing people with that.
Already? They're already killing them.
Yeah, I think I thought I read that 2 people have since been murdered.
Holy shit.
By the state via electric chair.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's fucking barbaric, medieval might even be the word I would use.
Wow, so definitely cross state lines if you're gonna do anything illegal.
Yes, this is don't do it there, right?
Now, is like the idea that like they institute that shit. He's not recording anymore, so who even gives a fuck? But like, do they institute that electric chair stuff so that like so people assume that it's what's going on? Is it safer? Is it a safer state because they have the electric chair? Like, are less people committing crimes, like heinous crimes? Is that what they think? So. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, what's the fucking point then? Just do it in one state, and like, so if you do this, like, whatever crime, we'll ship you up to New York and fry you up there. You know, why do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all because like every state's different. They all got their different laws, right? But it's all, I don't know. In my opinion, it's just a way to like execute minorities. Like how many, you know, I don't know. A lot of black people go to jail and get executed by the state. I watched a documentary one time that said that the state of Kentucky, it was something like over half of the population was incarcerated. Either it was over half or just under half. And like 80% of them were all like African Americans. I don't know if they execute people in Kentucky, but who knows?
Sounds like a state that would.
Yeah. Kentucky Fried Inmates.
Yeah, they got some good chicken.
Yeah. Well, now that our host is back, maybe I guess we could get on topic.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about, but I'm kind of okay with that. That sounded heavy.
Killing people.
I'm in this friggin' spot where there's like 3 free Wi-Fis, you know, nearby. So as soon as it like starts to like lag a bit, it automatically joins the next strongest one. And I don't know how to like turn off that like automatically join strongest network, because as soon as there's like any hiccup in my connectivity, I like drop out for 10 seconds and join a new one. But I'm back to the main internet now, so I think we're good.
So you're like the gold digger, but you're the gold digger of the internets right now. You're just bopping around to the
just bouncing around. But my phone gives off the best.
Once Daddy lose a bit of money, you on to the next.
I might be illegally parked right now because I was like looking for the best free Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah.
So when this podcast is done, I'm moving.
Now I don't know about this, but I feel like if you're in your vehicle, you're not illegally parked. You can can move it as long as you're not drunk or anything.
Interesting. Well, yeah. If I'm drunk and masturbating, is that illegal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's like
it's my home.
Are you not allowed to
masturbate
in your own car?
Yeah, you're in public.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
If no one can see,
blinds down.
Yeah, especially if no one can see you.
It's even weirder.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like, here's this is, I don't know.
What if you have a little blanket over your lap?
There was a weird story here recently in the Eastern Canada about these hockey players. These Ottawa Senators were in Nashville, I think, or Arizona, and they were in an Uber, and the Uber driver recorded them shit-talking their coaches.
Yeah.
And then it got out and went, like, you know, Twitter got all blown up about it. And it, like, the big debate that seems to come out of it, that I hear at least, is like, if you're in an Uber, is that public or private property?
Oh.
I feel like it's the car's property.
Yeah, it's someone's property.
Yeah, it's the guy.
So, like,
yeah.
The argument that I hear is, like, people are like, well, if you're in a cab, like, is that a private conversation you're having if you're in the backseat of a cab and you're talking to somebody?
But I mean, like, within reason.
But is it private? With a fucking random person sitting beside you,
like,
right?
within reason, but, like, not completely. There's a fucking stranger.
Yeah.
30 centimeters from you.
Yeah.
I think if you're outside of your house, your car, like, it's not private. Like, if you're talking shit about your hockey coach on the bus, is that private property? Like, no. Like, why would you think a fucking Uber's any different?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hockey players are morons.
Now, if I have a home and a car, do I get to jerk off in both?
That's what I'm asking. Like, I feel like Mike should be able to have some night pleasures in the back of his car
I'm
house.
doing it regardless. You know? Like, that's why I bought a van.
That's why there's fucking black tape all over the windows.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, yeah, this shit is black the fuck out, man. I want to be fucking in here and not have any peepers.
Or maybe a couple peepers. That'd be cool, too.
It
This
depends on
van's a rockin', you come a watching.
Yeah, if I'm having a big dick kind of day, I don't mind. Right?
We've all had them.
Little thick dick kind of day.
All thick and veiny.
Have a look.
Yeah, the lighting's just right.
Yeah, I'm at my best.
Yeah, you go park at a school or something.
No.
Okay.
When my internet
Alright,
was
so
being
on that
trashed,
note-
did you guys switch to the topic at hand? I'm guessing not.
No,
Absolutely
no,
not.
no.
We panicked.
talked about
We
killing
Okay.
people and masturbating.
Yeah.
Now.
So this week we wanted to talk about John Lennon because he died recently. 30 years ago?
38.
Recently, 40 years ago.
38 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. But we had this discussion kind of like spiraled off because I did like a big Facebook spam last week of like, I'm going to invite, random people on Facebook to grow our numbers. And just by like total like fluke, I'm friends with Yoko Ono on Facebook. And I said in our group chat, if like fucking Yoko Ono like clicks and likes our Facebook page, we'll have to do a John Lennon episode so she could hear it. And then it kind of just turned in like, oh, we should just do one anyway.
Yeah.
And here,
Send it right to
I've never been on board with that idea, but here we are.
2 beats 1.
2 beats 1 democracy. So you don't want to send it to Yokes?
I'll send it to Yoker.
Oh, fuck that. Yoker?
Yokes.
Yoker?
Me and Yoker.
And she tuned out. And she just tuned
Yeah.
out.
dislike.
Dislike.
The Yoker.
Yoki.
The Yokes.
Yeah.
She's, as my co-host on my other podcast, Dudes on Dudes Fighting, Stu would say, crazier than a box of spiders.
Jesus.
I don't know anything about her or that history, really.
I was digging into it a little bit today. I was digging into it today. There's some good...
Yeah?
I love conspiracies, so you know me. As soon as there's a hint of a conspiracy,
Oh yeah,
I
you can
didn't
smell
know.
it.
I can smell
I
it.
only read like 2 websites, and it was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be just a nice like somber, like let's remember the man, the myth, the legend. But like no, here it comes. Tricky Dicky, at it again. But
Well, let's hear it. Where does it start?
Well,
Humble
it doesn't.
age of
It
5?
starts, I guess, before the Beatles broke up. Like John Lennon married Yoko in the like '60s, I guess. They met at an art show and got married like right away, and John had to divorce his current wife to marry her.
Yeah, like wasn't he married and had a kid or something?
Yeah. And then he married Yoko.
Everybody will know the hit song by the Beatles, "Hey Jude," written by Paul McCartney, is actually Paul McCartney talking to young Julian Lennon about his dad.
Oh yeah,
it's not about a woman. No,
I did not know that.
It's just about next time you listen to it, like it's just about just, I don't know. It's like your dad is never fucking there.
Well,
ever,
I don't want to dig
like,
into any of these old songs anymore because if you dig into the lyrics, they're gonna get fucking banned. People get all butthurt when they actually take the time to learn what the song is about. But
what are we gonna get banned from? Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, like there might be some shit in there. Cause so
there's the problem.
Lennon marries Yoko. They have a good thing for a few years, and then they separate. And John Lennon starts dating his intern, May Pang, I think was her name. She's like some 22-year-old, another Asian that he met in New York, and they buy a house together, like in Los Angeles. And then Yoko flies to California, talks him into coming back to New York, and maybe we should try the marriage one more time. And allegedly he tells May Pang, his new girlfriend and roommate, I'm just gonna go back.
His roommate, yeah.
And this is the last, hurrah, get my shit, and then I'm coming back. And then 3 weeks go by, she never hears from him. So she calls the house, and Yoko answers, and is just like, oh, yeah, he's not going to talk to you anymore, and hangs up. And then they run into each other at an event, like May Pang and John Lennon, at some, because she worked for Apple Music. She was, the intern. So they, they know each other business-wise. And they, run into each other, and she's, gone onto the record to say that, his eyes were totally glassed over, and he seemed like a zombie. And all he would talk about how much he loved her.
Drugs.
Just drugged him. And then that's when Yoko started sitting in on the Beatles recording sessions and kind of being the fifth wheel and breaking them up. So there's all these conspiracies that she was drugging him and playing him like a puppet.
See, but like I've heard other shitty stories though about him beating her and beating up all of his wives.
He seems,
you know, like he's not the saint that everybody
Oh,
thinks
God,
he was.
no.
He was a druggy alcoholic in the 1960s.
Are you Me Tooing him right now?
Big
You
time.
getting him Me Too'd?
I'm sure he's already been Me Too'd a couple times.
Never trust
Yeah.
a grown
John Lennon.
adult with sunglasses and a Mickey Mouse t-shirt on.
Wow.
Yeah, and that long hair,
That
too,
long
man.
hair.
Ugh.
The devil's
Not doing
locks.
yourself any favors.
Yeah. I can't speak to that, but I just feel like
What are you
some
rooting
of the shit I was reading was like, but the other thing though is like really seemed to really.
Are you making your lunch over
Yeah,
there?
what are you doing?
What are you doing? You
buttering
making Tom's
bread?
yeah.
Getting my beer. I got my lunchbox beside me. Yeah.
Oh, that I heard
okay.
a complaint this week from someone that says that it's really annoying that we're always opening beers into the microphone and it's really loud and
Oh,
jarring.
fuck
Oh,
off.
no.
Yeah. So, definitely going to open the next one extra loud.
I opened that
up
one
to
right
the
beside
microphone.
them. Glad you told me. Sorry, everybody. I'll like to. I'll apologize too. That like I listened to our last episode and like I don't know. My nose is fucked and it's super wheezy. And I felt like at points and when I was listening to the recording, it was like, man, I could just hear my nose like, wheeze, wheeze, wheeze. And it was like, oh my god. I think I have a deviated septum, but I don't know how I would do that. I've never done cocaine in my life, but it's like my
I
nose
for
developed.
sure have a...
I mean, babies don't do cocaine and they're born with it.
I think that
so-
might be a genetic deal there. We've never talked about this, but I
Yeah.
have a for sure... Like, I have a giant nose, like bird-like, but it's so
Yeah.
skinny that, like, I can't breathe through it. And it's just been,
Really?
like, an ongoing joke that if someone were to plug
Wow.
my nose, I would suffocate. Or plug my
You would
mouth.
die.
Like, if I'm kidnapped and they put duct tape on my mouth, I would
would,
die
yeah.
within 30 seconds. Like, I can't breathe through my nose.
Wow. Did we just
I'm a
become
nose breather
brothers?
through and through.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my sniffer never works. Has not worked forever. As long as I know, like I
No.
can't
Is this
smell
the
shit.
first
I
time
can't,
you
like-
guys are having this conversation?
It never comes... How often
Yeah.
would that ever come up?
I don't know.
Oh.
Did Dad hit you too?
I remember being in like fucking hockey power skating as a kid, and like, do you remember Dragon Lady, the chick that ran power
Oh, totally.
skating?
Yeah.
Johnny Bowers?
Yeah.
No,
No,
this
that
is
was
the other
different.
one.
This is the
Oh,
other
yeah.
one. This is Dragon Lady, and she'd scream like "Hooray!" like a curler,
Oh, totally.
and make you skate hard. And she'd be like, "In through your nose, out through your mouth." And she had a theory that if you breathe through your nose, it gave like the air like an
faster.
extra second to warm before it got to your lungs because it's like cold as shit in that hockey arena. And I couldn't do it, and I'd be so out of breath and like dying. And she'd be ragging on me for not being able to skate. And I'm like, I'm trying to breathe through my nose and skate at the same time, and it is impossible.
I got asthma.
I cannot do crossovers and breathe through my nose at the same time, lady. Like, give me my mouth back, and I'll show you. I'll show you how to dance.
I could breathe fine. I was just the chubby kid, so I got yelled at for that. Different times,
Oh,
right? The 90s.
Yeah, oh, there's
you
no
yell
way.
at fat kids for being fat.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Telling kids they can't breathe
Come on,
good.
fatty, pick it up.
Yeah. No, I like it's a thing in our home where like the joke is it's like if I can smell it, then it must smell pretty bad.
Right.
Like, you know, if like the
Really?
garbage or something needs to
Right,
get
right.
changed and we haven't changed it, or if our cat pisses on something and it's like it smells like cat pee. If I can smell it, then it's like throw it out. It's no good.
Right.
Are
Must
you
be
guys
just-
full of the allergies or no?
No, it's just a really skinny nose.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a narrow urethra for the nose.
Face urethra.
Mm.
Your face urethra, yeah. Narrow.
Narrow urethra.
You know who also had a fucking very narrow face urethra? John Lennon.
John Lennon.
John Lennon, he did.
He didn't
really
smell
did.
any of that bullshit coming up around him around 1970.
No. He'd still be alive today.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got took.
No. But honestly, like, it really to me seemed like everything that really fucked over John Lennon's life was when he declared that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. I
He
feel
was all
like
done.
Yeah.
everything.
That's
kinda
when they
gets
did the
traced back.
burning of the records and all the shit, right?
Yeah.
All those
Yeah.
groups.
And like he just got like a bad name for himself. I don't know.
Yeah,
Some
that's
of the
pretty
shit
bold.
Yeah, but I don't think he was wrong. I mean, I think there's a difference between being, like, he said that they were more popular than Jesus.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at the time, I think you could argue in North America and in Britain, between women, young girls between the ages of like 10 and 22, 25, probably were more popular than Jesus.
And he's just trying to be funny, like.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that would be like something he'd put on Twitter today, and I guess he'd get like banned from the Oscars or some shit for saying it. But people would blow over because there's so much bullshit every day. But yeah, back then it was like death sentence for this band.
I think it was like 1966.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm pretty sure shortly after that was when they stopped touring. Like, I don't think they toured between 66 and 70, right?
Right.
Like, they were just a studio band. And
I heard I heard I don't know if it's an urban legend, but that the equipment like that they used to play with, like their Vox amps or whatever, was just really catching up to like the big stadium shows, and that the equipment wasn't loud enough, and they couldn't hear themselves play and sing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the fans were just too fanatic and too fucking crazy that they were just like, well, what's the point of playing live if we can't even really hear what we're doing? I don't know if that's an urban legend, but that the crowds were so loud and the equipment was kind of, on the up and up, but still so in the late 60s that they just stopped playing live.
And if you have to think of like the business at the time, where pretty much it's like the opposite of today, where like the albums is where a band made all the money.
Totally.
And then touring was to support album sales and there's the famous Leonard Skinner goes on tour underneath of whoever and becomes popular enough to release an album, and it's just that like chain reaction. Like even the Beatles toured under like Roy Orbison, like it was that like piggybacking of the record label has their A star, they put the B in, get B popular, and then B's album is huge.
Totally.
So when the Beatles are at that point where like they don't need to tour, like yes, you make money doing that, but if you're already so stupid rich that like, or we could just stay home all year and still be stupid rich and put out a bunch of EPs or something.
Yeah. Where now today, like artists will rely on their merch and their record sales
and touring. There's no record sales.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah, you have to tour to be a band now.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. But so they, like, I don't know, they were done by the 70s, the Beatles, like.
Yeah, his solo album came out in 72. Imagine.
Yeah, Imagine. Yeah.
Which is the only John Lennon album I like. Like I hate them. The Beatles suck in my opinion. Maybe not suck, but fuck the Beatles.
I'm not into it. Like, there's a handful of songs that are, like, kind of timeless, that are rock and roll. Like, I Saw Her Standing There, and, like, which is, like, a questionable song.
I like all the darker ones I like
she
that
was just
one.
17,
and, like,
if you know what I mean.
That's kind of fucking, that's a little Me Too-ish.
There's a little Me Too going on in that song, for sure. But, like, they have some good rock and roll songs. That fucking we were talking about this earlier. Like, I don't like that lovey-dovey era where it's like your church-going parents are going to put this on and make you a brother. Like,
they're just like the monkeys.
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I give them all the credit for, like, inspiring the next generation. And I know that they, like, really progressed, like, recording music and did some really interesting shit with, like, multi-layered tracks. But I still hear those albums and I feel nothing.
No, it doesn't.
See, but now my thing, RJ, like you're saying, like I don't think Yoko necessarily broke up the Beatles. I think basically the stance I take on, I went through like a John Lennon phase.
Yep.
And was just that like they basically got to a point where they had basically the entire world as their audience.
Mm-hmm.
And John Lennon decided, or at least wanted to, decided like, hey, I have this pedestal, I got this little soapbox, like, let's say something that will make a difference. And this is where his big, like, peace movement came, right? Like, say no to war kind of thing. was he's like, hey, we got the ear of everybody. Let's have a message. Let's have a point to this. Right. But then Paul McCartney was like, oh, now me love, like we got to sing songs about girls in love, or else no one's going to buy the records, you know? Like it was one of those, like...
On point, dude. On point.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, me love. But
I close my eyes, man. Wow.
But so, like, it's like I say, like, I think Paul wanted to make songs about girls and falling in love and doing that the rest of his life, which he pretty much did.
Yeah.
And John was like, or we can start a revolution, you know, give peace a chance.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, think of all those songs then that he wrote that got him big. Like, I know Revolution was a Beatles song, but you know that was towards the end.
Well, even just
the shaggy hair.
It says a lot that like Imagine was like a pretty great album, and George Harrison played guitar on it.
Yeah.
You know, like case closed. It was Paul being a fucking dick that the Beatles broke up.
Yeah. I think Ringo played on it, Imagine, too.
Yeah, that was just a courtesy spot.
Really?
We know he can't play.
But he could breathe out of his nose. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah,
whatever.
Sure could. He could breathe out of his nose and drum, goddammit. But then, so, like, I don't know, the whole... Obviously, John just made a point of making enemies in high places, whether it was with, like, all of anyone that believes in Jesus.
Yep.
And then started preaching about peace and fuck the Vietnam War, right? Like, he was like a champion for both of those causes.
Or was he? Or was Yoko the champion and he was drugged and sedated and just parroting?
Yeah, okay. And
well,
Paul
she was
McCartney
in because she was in Tokyo when it was like firebomb during WW2. Like, she was the one that went through all the war and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably influenced him. Like
big
all
time.
Spouses usually do
with the strings.
But again, like he had decided that he wanted to make a choice, I'm gonna take a stand.
I think he's
like
definitely my favorite Beatle. Actually, George Harrison's pretty great too.
Yeah, I just mean like if John Lennon was around today, I bet he'd be like a champion for climate change, like things that are like, hey, like let's take care of this planet, you know?
Maybe
like,
the white David Suzuki.
Oh, for sure, with the Asian wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little role reversal, right? Earth B.
Yeah. For sure.
But so I don't know. Like he started on this path pretty early on about like I'm just gonna fucking say what I want, and piss off whoever I can. Like whoever I can to at least like get a reaction. It seemed, right. Like he was also super against the drugs. Against them, but against the war on drugs.
The war on drugs, yeah.
Yeah. John Sinclair was a guy who went to jail for... God, I think he got like a life sentence for 2 joints.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And this was in like the late 60s. Might not have been a life sentence, but like 15 to 20 years for 2 joints.
Life.
Wow.
10 years, sorry. There's a song about it. It ain't fair, John Sinclair.
I don't know that one.
Gave him 10 for 2.
Is it on Imagine? That's where I tapped out.
Yeah, no, it's after Imagine or before. I think because he had the Plastic Ono band too.
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know, and like I know,
just
like
junk.
Nixon didn't him and Nixon didn't get along at all, right? Like fucking Nixon, like his undoing. Maybe a future episode about the Watergate scandals was all about like recordings, right? And like Nixon was one of the first presidents that started like recording every conversation that took place in the Oval Office as like a point of record.
Yeah.
And on more than one occasion they have recordings of Nixon talking to, I believe, is it Henry Kissinger about Lennon, the Lennon problem. And like, what are we gonna do about Lennon? Because they were worried that he was pushing like a leftist.
He had too much influence.
Yeah, way too much influence, and his influence didn't line up with what they wanted, which was to go to war. Like they were Republicans, right? Like it's like the right wing versus the left, and it's the same today. All the left have all the fucking cool people like vouching for them, right?
It's
like,
kind of flipped though. Like the left is all like, I don't know.
Vegan?
No, I feel like just the line has moved. Like what was left in 1970 is like not left in 2018. Like they were pretty like anti-government, anti-FBI, like stay out of this. And now that seems to be like accepted and fine. Like there's no longer revolution against war. Like no one complains about war anymore. They just complain about Christmas songs.
Fucking happening anymore because we're all on Facebook and Twitter and all that shit, right?
Get people like dig up old tweets and ban Christmas songs. Like that's the left now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like an extreme.
Oh,
There's
it's
extremes
extreme.
in everything,
oh, for sure.
right?
It's
like,
extreme left. Yes.
I think
Alt
if anything,
left.
to your argument is, I think that there is no middle ground anymore. It's either you're left or you're right, and you need to make a choice. And if you're right, I don't like you, and if you're left, I don't like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there is no middle ground. You're either with us or you're against us, or you're a racist, or you're too sensitive.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're either a racist or you're too sensitive, which is really like complete opposite ends of it, right?
Right.
It's just go fuck yourselves, all you.
Well, if we're talking about future episodes and we're talking Watergate, I'd like to get into Pizzagate. I just learned a little bit about what that is. So we'll save that, but we got to do an episode on Pizzagate.
I'm down.
Sure. Pizzagate.
Yeah, I just learned what that was.
I'm down.
I don't know.
Also, throw back to like 5 minutes ago when you said when you said Paul McCartney is dead.
Like, that's a good one.
Fucking interesting conspiracy.
Yeah. Even on that Imagine album, the like "How Do You Sleep at Night" song, John Lennon says like, "I always thought you were dead." Like he mentions it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one. There's a whole bunch of like deep-rooted giveaways. I mean, again, like who knows?
Yeah.
Like
who knows?
You can fucking make something out of nothing, but it's interesting to see like all this shit stringed together.
Yeah.
But so, what are your guys' thoughts on like the death of John Lennon?
He's dead.
He's clearly dead. I'm not saying
he's dead.
Like,
John Lennon.
Saying, like is Yoko involved?
I did not heard. I don't think Yoko is involved.
My take is it should have happened 10 years sooner.
Well, my take with anything is like whoever benefits the most. Look at them.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back at fucking Yoko. Sorry, Facebook pal Yoko Ono.
Yeah. Wow.
This
is like
because after he died and she did like this big auction and like sold off all his shit for even more money, even though she had like 90% or something of Apple Music. Like she had some crazy number. She sold everything. She even sold fucking Apple Music to Michael Jackson. Like she sold it all. And one of the things she sold were these.
Look what he did with it.
Were these letters that John wrote to Julian, his son. Like she had all these like handwritten letters to his son, and she put them up for auction. And Julian's like, "Can I just have those? Like they're to me, for Christ's sake."
Shit.
And she's like, "You have to bid." And then Julian legitimately had to bid in the auction to buy the letters. Like Yoko wouldn't give them over. So Julian used whatever, inheritance he got from his father dying to buy the letters because Yoko wouldn't give them up.
Wow.
Succubus.
Yeah. I never heard that angle before. That's
nasty.
Wow.
So
she didn't get hit. She was with him and didn't get one bullet.
She didn't do one goddamn thing. Nothing.
So did she pay Chapman or what?
There's no connect. I see no connections, but I think there's just as shitty as my nose is, I smell bullshit.
But I mean, his shit was super fucking weird though too. Like I say, he basically did it because he didn't like that John said he was better than Jesus.
The Mark David Chapman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where it all started from. Was that he didn't like that. He said that about Jesus, and that he also thought that John was a hypocrite because in the Imagine song, he talks about getting rid of all of your possessions and everybody sharing everything. But then John Lennon had a farm in fucking the UK, a house in New York, yachts, all the cars, all the goodies. That it's like, how can you be telling? Name. Yeah, how can you be telling us, don't do this, but then you're gonna drive home in your $1,000 Rolls Royce.
Right.
Not a lot of money, but
that's a cheap ass Rolls Royce. I mean,
it's idea.
That's just a fucking
Gonna buy a
taxi
couple
cab
of
with
those
Rolls
tomorrow.
Royce written on the front of it.
He was John Lennon. He didn't pay full
I
price.
feel
for
like I
things.
read Catcher in the Rye in high school, but I barely remember it. But I know that like the main themes are about like authenticity and rejecting, you know, materialism and shit. And that's the book that he had like Lennon sign right before he shot him. Like,
Yeah.
kind of as
wow.
like a
There's
last
that.
like, you ever heard of this book? Like, write your name on it, and here's, you know, 3 to the chest.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
that's funny. Like,
Exclamation mark.
I read a fucking a snippet from Chapman, one of the interviews. He's given, I think, like 3 or 4 interviews.
Is he
since
still
it happened.
alive? Yeah.
Is he alive
He's
in
still
prison?
He's in prison,
Yeah.
He
yeah.
actually just was up for parole
Let
last
him out.
year or earlier this
He
year.
learned his lesson.
No.
No?
Let him fucking die.
Let
in
him
prison.
rot.
Yeah. You don't get to kill a fucking rock icon and then get put back into fucking society. I'm sorry. Like,
Well, there's
what
a
you
lot...
took away from people is way more important. It's bigger
Wow.
than anything you're going to accomplish.
You're putting
at
like
fucking-
John Lennon's life is more important than another non-celebrity's life.
that killed him.
Well, I mean, like other people get parole after 25 years.
Yeah, it's a civil rights
Paul
thing. He should
Bernardo
definitely
is
be
not
allowed.
getting paroled.
No.
You know?
Well, that was
Like,
probably
there's-
that was part of the original sentence, right? Like life without parole or
Was
3
it?
life.
I think
counts
he's
without parole.
He's
eligible. He's
eligible.
eligible,
There's no
but
life
it's
for
now
that.
it's just like,
He only killed one
I think
dude.
it's
That's not that bad.
yeah, but he planned it for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, it was
And
first
he
degree
had a
murder
list of
for
other
sure.
people.
Yeah.
He had a list of other people, which included David Bowie, Johnny Carson, Walter Cronkite, and actually, like,
Jesus did all that work
To
for
add-
him.
but add to it, John Lennon and Yoko Ono had tickets the next night after John was killed. They had tickets for the next night to go see David Bowie on Broadway in the Broadway musical of The Elephant Man.
Okay.
Oh my
And-
god!
Okay, but
What a
sat
piece of
behind
shit.
them, also had a ticket, was Mark David Chapman.
Ah.
So that
Wow.
night, David Bowie,
Cahooting.
who had
Cahooting.
Cahooting.
now it came out that
Mhm.
that this guy had a list of people that he was going to kill, and David Bowie was second on that list. And the day after Lennon died, both Yoko Ono, John Lennon, Mark David Chapman were supposed to be in the front row of that Broadway production.
Wow.
Mm.
And that night that it happened, it was a sold out crowd and there was only 3 vacant seats. And David Bowie has since said that was like the hardest performance he ever had to give and almost had to quit halfway at the intermission because they
He
were
shoulda.
fucking sitting. Yeah,
He should have
and
quit.
Because he didn't have
2 of
any
them, 'cause-
self-respect, and he was doing some fucking Broadway play.
yeah.
Have you seen
About
that
the elephant.
dancing in the streets video? That dude had no self-respect, 0 self-respect.
Before we go too far down the David Bowie trail, did you know that the note that Mark David Chapman had with the list of names was in Yoko
Yeah.
Ono's handwriting?
Okay.
I just made
That's
it up.
bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Well, of course they're cahooting. Like that's fucking
Yeah,
nailed.
I
it.
was like half joking before that I think she's like involved, but now I'm
In
all
on
the
it?
way in. There's no fucking way that he had tickets to some Broadway play beside her without
Mhm.
No, it's behind them.
whatever. She,
Oh, it's
Maybe not
even-
directly
even
behind them,
easier.
but like
what
in
are
the
the
same...
odds, though? Come on.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's. I don't want to say like what are the odds, but he actually then went on to say that the reason he killed John Lennon was because Lennon was the most accessible of all of them.
Oh yeah, everyone knew where he lived.
So I think Plan B was he bought a ticket to Broadway, the Bowie show, and would have killed Bowie at that show, like Dimebag Daryl got offed,
Yeah.
or. But then the night before he killed Lennon instead because he just had to walk to got an autograph from the guy. And there's that
Yeah.
creepy fucking picture
Yeah.
of Lennon signing an autograph and Chapman is standing right beside him waiting for his
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Double Fantasy album to be signed.
Yeah. He hung out there all day.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary on it. He was there all
Or
day.
that shitty Jared Leto movie. Did you ever see that one?
No, I
I
refuse.
think I seen
God,
it.
so-
Yeah.
I pass on
I think
Leto.
Yeah,
on
I
everything.
hate Jared Leto. That guy's such a loser.
I love it. You say it so
Yeah.
wrong, just out of spite.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What am I saying wrong?
You call him
Leto?
Leto, like Leo
What is
it?
DiCaprio. It's Leto.
Oh,
Whatever.
fucking Leto out of here.
Yeah. Fucking
Leto.
Jared Leto.
Yeah. Fucking
Kid
30
Leto
Seconds
and
to
shit.
Mars is not fucking a short enough trip, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's his band.
That's the name of his shitty band.
Oh yeah.
I'm just send him to Mars. Get out of here. Take your Oscar with you.
That movie was
Fuck
cool
yeah.
that he won an Oscar for. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'm not fucking saying that movie. That movie was great. But he's a dink.
He's a dink.
But he hung out there the whole day. Not Jared.
Jared
Mark
Leto.
David.
Jared Leto was also
Jared
there.
Leto was also there.
The boys.
As a baby.
The boyhood Jared Leto.
I don't know. I read so I guess official story, right? Well, the interesting things I read was that apparently they had a Rolling Stone shoot early in the day. John did, and he wanted Yoko to be involved, and Rolling Stone did not want Yoko Ono involved in it at all. And then John kind of put his dick on the table and was like, "Look, you're either taking a picture of both of us, or you're not taking a picture at all."
Right.
And the picture they actually ended up taking was it's another one of these iconic ones. Actually,
The
voted.
nude one.
Yeah, where he's naked wrapped around her.
Right.
And it was I think in 2000 voted as the most influential cover of Rolling Stone magazine. Which now also because it was taken the same fucking day that John Lennon died.
That's a big deal. Edges
It's
out
a pretty big deal.
Johnny Knoxville being covered in paintballs slightly. But
Yeah. But he lost a testicle. So let's not forget about that. And then he gave an interview, John did, and then he went to go to the studio to record a song for Yoko's new album, signed Mark David Chapman's Double Fantasy album. I think they were there for 4 hours at the recording studio, and then they were going to go out for dinner. But John said, "No, I want to go home and see Julian or Sean. I need to go home and see Sean
Little
and kiss
Sean.
him goodnight before we go to the deli."
let's tuck him in.
Yeah, so they went home instead of going to the deli. Yoko got out first and successfully crossed the street, I guess, and got into the hotel. When John walked out, apparently Mark David Chapman said that John acknowledged him, looked at him, gave him the "how's it going, me love," and walked past him. And then there's conflicting reports that Mark yelled out, "Hey, John," or nothing. But either way, that
He yelled out
nothing.
Yeah. Which of course is going to get everyone's attention.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, of course.
Mark David Chapman said that he didn't yell anything and that John didn't turn around, but that he got down on one knee and fired 5 times. The first one missed. Also JFK style.
Yeah.
First one missed again. You think that would be the one you're going to hit on.
Right.
But then the next 4 shots hit John in the shoulder twice and in the heart, or in the back of the lung. Guess went through his lung.
Yeah.
And then John crawled into the reception area, said, "They hit me. They shot me, love." And then they had to fucking call
Shot
an
me in the
ambulance.
back.
And they didn't even call an ambulance.
No.
Right in the back, me love.
Call me a Rolls Royce, $1,000 Rolls Royce.
Get me the yellow submarine. But then
Call Paul, how did he do it?
yeah,
Get me a double.
take Penny Lane, it's quicker. All those things that came out.
Yeah, he said he had a whole conversation.
Yeah. Recited all his best Beatle lyrics. Remember me
Real
for
quick.
that.
Yeah.
But Mark David Chapman didn't leave the scene. Apparently took off his jacket, took out his Catcher in the Rye, and just hung out for a bit and waited for cops to come.
The whole time,
John
Yoko's freaking
Someone
out, going, "You have to shoot David Bowie tomorrow. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Run away,
So
minion."
Someone
You're
someone
fucking up
fingered
my
him there
plan.
on the scene.
Yeah, he just
Yeah, he
waited
didn't
for the
leave.
cops.
Everybody saw it.
Yeah.
The security guard saw him. The security guard,
Wow.
like you're saying, he had been there all day, so the security guard was kind of like, "What the fuck? We hung out all day, you and I, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then one of the things I read was the guy, one of the surgeons. Now there's some debates out now about who was actually involved with the surgery or whatnot. But when they brought John into the hospital, that they had to actually, as a last ditch effort, the doctor cut him open, ripped his chest open, and tried to manually massage his heart back to life. But when they opened him up, they said, the quote that I saw, which was pretty crazy, was that like there was so much damage to all of his arteries, like literally of the 4 major arteries, like 2 of them had been completely destroyed, and that the guy said that if he had been on the table, surrounded by everybody that was in that room and sustained that injury in front of everybody, they still would have never been able to save him.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and that he died from bleeding out, essentially.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Well, in light of that, what do you think about the whole rumor of him having sexual relations with his manager?
Of course.
His gay manager.
Of course, yeah.
Really? Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah. He's having sexual relations with his like intern at the time, also.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Like I gave that story of like Yoko Ono stole him back, but then she permitted like her to like stay on as the intern and as the like mistress, like this May, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Like she just like was just like
Take the heat off.
Yeah.
Like this is in the era of free love.
It's the free love. Like, well, it's the 70s, but actually like into the 80s. Though,
but like there's stories
they
of
got
like
AIDS by
David
then.
Bowie and
don't bring David Bowie into that.
Yeah, leave him out of this.
There was like
I'm just saying though, like
any day now that like Hammer's coming down with him in the fucking Me Too. Like there's countless stories of him and underage girls that have like come out and like talked about it openly. There's like one really famous like I don't know her name, but there's like one really famous groupie that was like his girlfriend and she was like 14. Like like the Little Richard or Chuck Berry kind of deal. Lewis. Like it was just like Jerry normal Lee. Back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Elvis married like a 17-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, Priscilla.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis was the famous one. Married his 15-year-old cousin.
Also Chuck Berry or just Jerry Lee Lewis?
I don't know about Chuck Berry, but Jerry Lee Lewis for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those were the times.
Oh, I'm glad. I wish I grew up then.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I
don't want to marry them.
Yeah, I didn't want to marry them.
It was definitely a lot. It was definitely a lot easier to get ahead in that era. You know,
you just lean your head back.
Yeah,
crotch in the air.
Get head. Eh?
Said dinner, sir.
Take a break breath through your mouth.
Yeah. So I read some like interesting things about.
Yeah, you guys would be horrible dick suckers. Horrible.
Couldn't do it. Yeah. There's no way I could do it.
It's
no.
Sorry.
I'd be a licker.
It's the only reason.
I'd be a licker.
Reason you're not doing it.
Fucking dick licker right
here.
here.
Patterson in us.
Yeah.
It's against our noses.
Can't do it, dude.
But what are your guys' thoughts on like Mark David Chapman being like CIA Manchurian candidate? You heard about
no
those?
idea.
I think she's Yoko Ono Manchurian candidate.
Could have been, yeah. Manchurian candidate, Mike, is kind of like the person that is like brainwashed to the point where they don't know they're brainwashed, and then they get that like key word somewhere, like they get the call that like the ducks are
doing
water.
That to me right now?
Maybe.
Are you
Manchurian?
Yeah.
Stop Manchurian.
Yeah. Oklahoma.
Yeah, and then boom, they're triggered and fucking.
Yeah.
Is your dick hard right now? Because that's part of it.
It's been hard for 53 minutes.
Don't harden him. He's in public. He's at the Canadian Tire parking
Yeah,
lot.
Exactly. Can't afford a sex crime right now.
Yeah. Don't put that on me.
Don't harden me in Canadian Tire.
But yeah, like I was reading people thinking that he was like brainwashed into it, and then people on the scene said that after it was over, like his calm demeanor was that seemed like he was not fully lucid.
I feel like even like prison interviews and shit he's done and like since then in the 90s, he's like really like hazy on the like I don't know what the fuck was going on.
He says he did it for like Now this is one argument I read that I feel like is kind of adds to the credence that he was like brainwashed and or just a patsy. I guess like even like try not to make this too long-winded, but either way, like he said he did it for the fame. That basically was why he did it. He wanted to be famous.
It worked.
But like if you wanted to be famous, why would you plead guilty to the crime when all your publicity is going to come from you going to and from a courthouse and having your day in court to say what you want? Like, that's where your publicity for this is really going to come from. Like, you know, no one remembers the OJ murder. They remember the trial, right? Like,
right.
If you want to get famous on that, that's where the fame comes
Get
from.
off. That's where you get famous.
Yeah. Like, you did it. Now just, like, bathe in your glory.
Yeah. John Benet Ramsey's parents. Yeah, they're way more famous.
Yeah. Whoa, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Coming up.
But then to add to it, like we recently talked about JFK and how Oswald was potentially this patsy that they use, where it was like, you're part of the plan, but we kind of just are leaving details out, and then we're just going to make it you're the fall guy. And then he didn't last because it was kind of like apparent that he was going to talk, like I think is part of it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where this is like, you know, even what's that fucking asshole's name? He's got a double
David
name.
Bowie?
David Bowie?
No.
Gene
David
Simmons?
Bowie. No, it was Sirhan who killed Robert Kennedy. And his was like the same. People think that he was also in this Manchurian Candidate, where it was like the government learned that it's like you can set this guy up to be a patsy, but when everything is said and done, like he's not going to stick to the plan when he's like the fall guy. So we have to find a different way to have a fall guy that isn't going to spill the beans. And there's all this, like, all these articles I was reading about fucking, what was it called? It was like MK Ultra.
I'm big on MK Ultra.
Are you
it's like
being
a bunch
sarcastic?
of brain.
No, I am being real.
Okay.
It's like all these brainwashed
brainwashing.
dudes. And there's like all
the
these
government using like acid and stuff to try and brainwash people.
Yeah.
Like LSD, not real like sulfuric acid.
And they say there's a lot of like people like today, like celebrities and athletes, are like MK Ultra athletes and shit.
Yeah, just
stuff.
again the keyword, like when you get the phone call and the keyword, or you watch the TV show and it's supposed to trigger something that they've planted in your brain to go and do, like a sleeper agent, spy
sleeper
kind
cell.
of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yoko's involved.
Yeah.
Okay,
could be.
We're asking each other questions anyway. Let's make it official. Let's go around the horn with the asking experts.
One thing first. I looked into the John Lennon thing for about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Until I realized that when British people say artistic, it sounds like they're saying autistic.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was just like, I can't watch any of this fucking shit anymore. Everyone's autistic.
I used to.
They sure are.
I think the code word.
Like everyone in Britain.
Yeah.
The code word on our
fucking gingivitis.
Like the code word on our show is roommate. So I used to be roommates with a girl that was so funny that those two words were close together in sound, and she'd like introduce me to our friends. Like, oh, this is my friend. He's autistic. It was pretty funny.
Everyone would talk really slow at you.
How are they close?
Artistic and autistic?
Are and autistic? That's a big,
when you say it in a British accent, it sounds like autistic.
He's autistic.
Autistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're saying autistic.
Yeah, she would do that all the time.
Well, that's enough for me.
It was really
that's enough
especially at a party when it's really loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't it like aren't all fucking artists autistic?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a spectrum, baby.
I'm on the spectrum.
Fucking right. Represent.
Starts with the nose.
Starts with the nose. Yeah. Nose to toes, a little skinnier than it should be.
Yeah. I got tiny little skinny toes
fucking
as well.
Skinny all the way down.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, dick to ass. It's fat.
Yeah, you guys have got it. You guys are a fat ass family. You are.
Oh man.
You hold all your weight.
Bring
your
the heat.
Yeah. I do all right in prison.
Yeah.
I don't think
there's a lot of sitting.
I don't think I'd be good in prison at all. Like, without even, like, knowing it, like, I'd snitch for sure. Like, I'm just too into, like, talking about things. Like, the guard would be like, did you see what happened when over there? Like, yeah, man, it was fucking sick. Like, this guy had this, and, like, I'd just be too excited. I'd get beat with some soap and a sock for sure.
So we're doing...
Yeah, you wish it was soap and a sock.
Getting beat with someone else.
Yeah. The sock might be there, but... That's a prison condom.
Reusable.
Prison condom just pulling a pillowcase over the guy's head.
Ooh, it's dark. Just kill him. You don't gotta use condoms in prison, do you?
No, it's gay sex. I don't think they worry about that.
Hey, bro, whoa, it's just sex,
it's just
all right?
straight love.
Okay, it's love and sex, yeah.
It's love. It's cellular love. It's in your DNA.
Yeah. I doubt. I bet you condoms are a hot commodity, like, more so than cigarettes.
No.
Or do you think they reuse the ones they hoop with? That's how they get their condoms in. They hoop some shit, and then they undo the knot really delicately.
There's no way that they use
no, fuck that. They're just using their teeth.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like a little rat. Just.
We all know it's never up to the guy to use it.
Maybe it's cold outside.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Okay, let's do a round of Ask an Expert, then we'll hit our fan questions.
Damn.
Yeah, that was...
Plural? We got questions plural?
No, we only got one, but it's a good one.
Oh.
Okay.
I think my question to you...
Wow.
Okay, I'll go. I'll lead.
You go first.
My question is, if you could pick any other Beatle to be assassinated other than John Lennon, who would it have been?
Fucking good question. Ooh. It's gotta be Ringo.
Jesus.
Really?
I can't think of Ringo without laughing. Like, his name is fucking
goofy. Did you hate Shining Time Station that much?
I liked it when George Carlin was on it. Ringo's fucking name, his fucking nose, that goddamn hair. I feel like every time you see Ringo, he's just like doing this, like mediocre drummer. I'm a Pete Best man.
But I just mean, though, he outlived them all. Like, he's gonna outlive them all.
You think so?
The most, you know... Oh, yeah. Have you seen fucking the corpse that is calling himself Paul McCartney?
Oh, well, Paul McCartney died first in my book.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, he might actually be dead. Jury's still out.
Jury's out. We'll come back to that in like a month.
Yeah, we got to come back around on that for sure.
But if I could choose any Beatle to be dead, I'd just like dig up that Paul McCartney corpse and shoot it again.
Double shot. But I feel like the first Paul McCartney...
We didn't need wings.
But that second Paul McCartney... Like, first Paul McCartney was probably a cool dude. Like, we're all talking about... the imposter, debatable. Maybe, is the one that gets killed now.
Yeah.
Like, secondary Paul. Paul number 2.
I'd kill secondary Paul. Fall. Yeah, fake Paul.
Fall.
Yeah. So clever.
Fucking Fall.
Let's pick a name that no one will ever suspect. How about Fall? Okay. Nailed it, Ringo.
Yeah, it was definitely a Ringo idea.
Contributed to anything, Ringo.
You're good at names. What should we call him? Richard Starkey, is that his name? Whatever. No, I'd shoot Paul McCartney.
First or second?
Wings sucked.
Wings
Nobody
sucked.
needed wings.
Oh god, no.
You know, he was a pretty pompous asshole, I think, too. When John died, there's that shitty clip of him when they ask him, like, "Oh, did you hear about John Lennon died?" He's just like, "Oh yeah, it's a drag, mate." Yeah.
It's real,
hoping doesn't happen to me.
Real bummer, eh? Fuck. Good thing they got together.
Yeah. I can go get some chips. Yeah, no, I wish he was fucking dead. I mean, like, let's be real. You can't. George was the man.
George
was
was
where he was at.
You wish he was dead? Like you're
You
actively wishing?
You actively wishing. You crossing your finger on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, your Christmas
I got a
wishes
pretty
here.
good track record of actively wishing fucking artists or autistic people to be dead, depending on how you think of it,
Autistic.
but-
Okay,
Yeah.
well then that's my next question. Outside of the Beatles, what famed musician does Skylar wish was fucking dead?
Bowie.
Bowie's been
wow.
thankfully dead for years.
Bowie's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
dead, yeah.
Yeah, kill him twice.
I think.
What about Gord Downey? Is he dead?
I think. What's that YouTube fella? He's next.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Edge?
Bono.
Bono. I was gonna call him Yoko.
Or Edge.
Yoko
Yeah,
too.
okay, you kill Bono, I'll kill the Edge.
The Edge.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Fuck the Edge.
I'll kill the drummer, yeah. Wow.
I think.
I don't know.
Bono.
Like,
what
I
about
think
Bono, yeah.
who's that other guy? Roger Waters. Like fuck that guy.
Oh, yeah, fuck that guy. Just coasting, man. Been coasting for 40
Coastin',
fucking years off the
coastin'.
same
Is that the
shitty
Pink Floyd
8-minute
guy?
song. Yeah.
Coastin'.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the other guy? Gilmore. Doug Gilmore?
Him,
No.
kill
No.
him. Kill him. Yeah,
Also,
Doug
Did you
guys know that
Gilmore.
Doug-
Not
did you
Doug.
guys know
Roger
that-
Gilmore.
Did you
David
guys know
Gilmore.
that Doug Gilmore was accused of raping his, like, 14-year-old babysitter in the 80s?
When he was what
No,
age?
Wow.
He was playing for the St. Louis Blues.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me too him
That's
up.
why they
No.
traded him out of St. Louis.
I don't
Oh,
think
the
anyone
cover
heard
up.
that, or no one would have been on his fucking
This will be
on his dick.
A future episode, and this will be the episode that gets us on the CBC. The fucking National Hockey League covers up more rapes than the Catholic Church. Statement.
Wow.
Definitely.
Statement.
Definitely.
Oh, for
Statement.
sure.
Yeah,
Statement.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
No. The OHL.
OHL.
They're a bunch of
Oh,
scumbags.
yeah.
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 Hockey
Oh, yeah.
players are the scummiest rape artists in the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Rape artists.
Rape artists. They top the Catholic Church. It does not shock me at all.
Jesus.
I mean, the
Nope,
numbers are
that's
close. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think everyone we just named. You know,
Yeah.
I'd prefer them in the ground over John Lennon.
I don't know. Like, if I could pick, like, I don't fucking
When you
know.
say it in the ground, it sounds so dark, but when I just wish
Yeah,
death
like
upon Roger Waters, it seems fine.
I just mean, like I kind of said it earlier before, too, but, like, you know, like, not one bullet.
For
She
Yoko.
didn't get one.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Not even
Linda McCartney,
courtesy
I'd
shot.
kill her. She dead? Is Linda dead? I think she's dead.
I don't think
Oh
she's
my
dead,
God.
no.
She's got no leg. That
No,
part
she
of
never
her's
had
dead.
one.
No, I think she's dead. Linda's dead, right?
No,
Mate?
he divorced that one-legged lady.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess I would go
Couldn't carry
like
his
Kanye
luggage.
West. Let's
Kanye?
just put an end to that. I'd put Kanye down.
Okay.
Humanely.
Okay.
I wouldn't shoot him in front of a hotel or anything.
Humanely.
Yeah, I just shoot him into
Explain,
space.
please explain. Yeah,
Would
Shoot
you
him into space.
in his
You know?
sleep.
not the
Give him a fucking YouTube channel for a year, you know?
not a hot
Yeah.
shot like Easy E? No.
Ooh, no way. Not that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. No. Like him, I don't know. Give him the electric chair. Let's tie it
Wow.
around.
Okay.
Tie it back around
it
to
back
our
around.
earlier talk. Yeah, just charge him up.
Now, do you have a
Charge him up.
question, Skylar, before we go to the fans?
I mean, okay, I kind of said it earlier, but like, if John Lennon was alive today, like, what do you think he'd be dick deep into?
There would not be a
More
Beatles rock
Asians.
band, that's for sure.
No,
A what?
Beatles rock band.
no.
He would put
No.
he put the kibosh on that.
That's
Yeah.
fine though. Go get a real guitar.
Yeah, it just reeks of like we need money.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a Paul McCartney.
That's a
move for
McCartney.
sure.
That's a Ringo move.
I
Yeah.
no way, man. Ringo's living off that Shiny Time money. I'm telling you.
That Thomas
Really?
money.
You got more
Yeah.
money from that than the Beatles?
Probably. He had a speaking part. Are you kidding me?
I could see the Beatles
Yeah.
not really paying him at all. Like they just pay him as like a
Yeah.
studio drummer.
They pay him
Don't
in
get me wrong.
crackers.
I like the
He
Ringo
was not
songs,
an equal.
but you know,
he was not an equal member.
you know when they were fucking playing that last show on top of that record store.
Yeah.
When he got up to sing like Yellow Submarine, everyone's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get some chips now."
I guess it's over.
Come back when the real artists stop playing.
Yeah.
Oh
you know?
no.
There's so much arguing over, like, in the music credits, if it's, like, McCartney-Lennon song or a Lennon-McCartney song. Like, there's so much arguing over that because it's based on, like, who's getting paid the most. Ringo's name's not on any motherfucking thing. That guy's the poorest Beatle. Harrison's got...
He was hired...
He was a hired drummer. He's a hired gun.
He was hired, actually, because he was ugly.
Oh, yeah? Put him
Really?
in the back?
Yeah, that was
That was it,
thing.
eh?
They hired him because he was ugly and he wouldn't draw attention away from Paul
Wow.
and John. Yeah.
Makes
Wow.
sense.
And even, like, George
He
at
probably
a lesser
still-
extent.
He probably still did pretty good though. He's like all those girls that they didn't have time for. That was
Right.
still like a solid
Oh,
6.
he got his fair share.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
I feel like he
He
would
was
still...
Ringo, me
There'd be
loves.
so many 9s left over. He'd do all right.
There'd be so many 9s. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You add a 6 and you got a party.
Lennon only dated
Yeah.
Asians. That's been established.
Yeah. So that's my answer. He'd be dick deep
So that's
in
like
a bunch
7.
of Asians.
He's taking the 7.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be dick deep in tons of Asians, boys, girls. you name
Didn't
it.
matter.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Free
Didn't
love.
matter.
Free love. Okay,
Free love.
let's go back to our favorite fan.
So you guys didn't answer my question, though.
We just
Like,
said
where-
he'd be
Asians.
dick deep in
Asians.
Dick deep.
Asians.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be in that,
All
like,
right.
Taiwan, like, cave, freeing, lost boys.
Doing opium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Brian
Wow.
from
All right,
Toronto.
Good thing he's dead, I guess. I don't know.
Good thing he died.
Yeah, he would have fallen hard. He would have Elvis'd out on us.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's
Yeah.
back? Did you say? Brian?
Yeah, Brian's back.
Brian, again.
Brian from Toronto.
Nice.
And he wants to
Hey,
know,
Brian.
he has a scenario for us. And I read this
Same
question.
Brian or different Brian?
Same guy. I read this the
Yeah.
other day and I thought it was great, but I never gave any thought to it. So I'm going to let you guys answer first.
Okay.
Okay, so here's this scenario. The experts get put to death. Sorry. I'm not a good reader. I can't breathe through my nose or read and host a podcast
Yeah.
at the same time.
So that's just it. It's like when he has to read, he can't breathe because he
Yeah,
can't do it through his nose.
After I eat a really big meal, like that's my like giveaway. If it's a really good meal, I have like a like a hacky cough because I
Oh, I
Oh,
get
yeah,
that too.
you both
yeah, because I
do.
can't
Yeah.
breathe
Do
through
that.
my nose when
Yeah,
I
I
eat.
call that my post-fill cough.
Thank you. I have the exact same thing.
RJ,
After I get
are
my
you
fill.
are you also real grumpy after you eat? Because your brother's a piece of shit.
I usually
After
fall
every
asleep
meal,
after I eat.
he is. He gets
Yeah.
super grumpy.
I'm
I'm like
stoked
an
you have-
alligator. You can't talk to me while I'm digesting.
Yeah.
I'm stoked that you have a post
Or-
meal cough because I definitely do the same thing.
I've heard it
Wow.
from both of you. I've been embarrassed many a time in public forum eating with you
A
guys.
hacky, dirty cough, just fucking
Yeah.
After the trough is
just a
empty.
bit of lung.
Yeah, you both do that.
Okay, so Brian from Toronto wants to know.
Yeah.
Well, his scenario. The experts get put to death. Fuck, I screwed it up again. Just get it closer and turn the screen brightness up. The experts
Yeah.
get put on death row for diddling kids. What
Oh
is
my
your
God.
final
Again.
meal?
Your final meal.
Yeah.
Ooh.
After diddling some
Oh,
kids.
I've thought about this a million times in my life. Not the diddling part, but like the final meal part. And it changes. It changes often.
Does it
changes
change
very
if
often.
diddling kids is the crime?
No. This is all about me, baby. You know.
Deep
Soup
and
and a
done.
sandwich. Soup and a sandwich.
What a sad meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my comfort food. I'd have a soup and
Anything.
sandwich.
What kind of
Like,
sandwich?
you could have surf and turf.
I'd have
Grilled cheese.
a nice tuna salad sandwich and a cream mushroom soup.
Tuna. You would ruin it
Yep.
for everybody else.
I
in the
would.
room.
I would.
Get the kid,
I'd stink that room up.
get the little kid
Yeah.
taste out of your mouth with some tuna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soup and a sandwich, man. That's the one. I keep going. That's my comfort food, I guess. I don't know. It's my favorite.
Jesus.
When my back's against the wall, I want a soup and a sandwich.
Yeah.
I want some
or
like
grilled cheese. I'll take grilled cheese.
Or grilled cheese, yeah.
grilled cheese would be good. But after diddling a kid, like what would I eat after that?
After diddling. Yeah, okay. Let me think about this a little more. Yeah.
After-
like lobster?
yeah,
Would lobster be appropriate?
Like to have the little like
know?
the tool to crack the claw and splash all over my
Yeah.
face. Like maybe that'd be appropriate.
Oh, they wouldn't give that to
Nice
you. You're on death
Maine
row.
lobster.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I said I wanted to have a Happy Meal, would they let me keep the toy?
Ooh, but that's how you baited them, right? That's how you baited the kids. So no, definitely
Exactly.
not. They would
It
not
brings
let
me
you
back.
keep the toy.
It's like a trophy.
Ooh, yeah. Put it down your
Yeah.
pants for when they zap you.
Yeah. It's weird. As soon as we gave him the Happy Meal, he got a huge erection. And he ate the cheeseburger off it.
Yeah, that Brandon Dassey look on his face.
It was a weird look, like he was looking at nothing, but also at like something he loved more than anything.
Nothing and everything all at once.
At the same time.
I think SpaghettiOs would be pretty good. Like it's a nice colorful
Really?
can. You can slurp it down. Piece of
It
toast.
cost 99 cents.
A little piece of toast to stir.
Even cheap in his death. You know?
Why are we touching kids though? Why can't it be anything, Brian?
Yeah, Brian. Fuck that.
Yeah. Come on, we're
Brian
not
just
hockey
me
players.
too'd us.
Yeah, we're not in the NHL, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Fucking Brian.
We're
Worse
not
than Dennis at
Theo-
this point.
Theo
Last
Fleury's
question
coach.
from this guy.
Fucking Theo Fleury's
Yeah, Graham
coach.
James.
Yeah.
Last meal.
Like, I don't know. If I was just straight up, like, murdered some people, I might get tacos.
Well, we're not talking about murder. We're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about diddling.
Diddling.
That's
yeah,
what I
it's gotta
mean,
That's
be-
like, I
another
think I would
question
have
for
to-
another time. We're not.
Can you
You're
request?
You're not
can
Mark
you
David
request-
Chapman. You're. I don't know any diddlers.
Can-
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he did.
What
He
would
did.
Michael
I don't
Jackson's
care.
last meal be?
He paid him.
I think it was this fucking anesthetic.
glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, anesthetic. Yeah, yeah.
His meal.
What did he call it? Jesus juice that he gave the kids?
No, he called it his milk. He was like, I need
No,
my
the
milk.
kids.
No, he gave the
he gave the
he
kids
gave
Jesus
the kids
juice.
Jesus juice though, and it was just
Yeah.
like fuck.
I thought that was Space Jam juice. No,
No, that's what you made up.
Oh, good bit.
That's what,
for softball.
that's what you drank in
For
softball.
softball. For softball.
Gatorade
For
and
the
vodka.
Yeah, a lot. Like, it was like vodka and then just like a splash of Gatorade for color.
Space Jam juice.
Yeah. I don't remember that game at all. And I never made Space Jam juice again. I don't know. Like, what did Bill Cosby feed his
I think
victims?
I think Jesus juice. He took a page out of Jackson. A little bit of wine, a little bit of GHB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. If that's the... I don't know. Let's not disclose this to our viewers. This is the part that gets edited out.
The
on
recipe, yeah.
How to dope somebody when they're not paying attention. What's in that drink? Like, baby, it's cold outside.
Wow.
You went there twice now. Twice.
That's how we started
That's a
it.
good
That's
song.
a hot topic. It's a good...
That's a
I
good
don't think I've ever heard that song, to be
Really?
honest with you, once.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
It's not a
Baby,
good
it's cold
one.
outside.
Yeah.
No,
As far as
not.
like
It's
Christmas
not.
songs go, I like the real
No.
soulful ones. Like those.
Is that like, isn't that fucking like Dean Martin or whatever his face is?
No, it's like some black
And
girl.
that chick?
Yeah, it's some chick.
And there's like a
Judy
fucking
Garland?
one of the Rat Pack guys, or like there's like a duet. Isn't who cares? It sucks. It sucks.
Sammy Davis.
Like I'm not saying I'm an advocate for Christmas music. Like don't get me wrong, but
But what that
if
one
you're gonna
passes
go
is what you're
Christmas
saying?
music, like I want some soul in it. I want some grit.
Okay.
I want a little rape.
I'm a fan for rocking around the Christmas tree. That's what I want.
I like that Live Aid song.
Ooh, do you?
So this is
No.
Christmas.
Let's hear it.
Do they know it's Christmas after all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Christmas.
You see the Bob
Oh.
Dylan? You ever see that video of Bob
Yeah.
Dylan? He's just
He's-
fucking pissed.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. When's the spoken word part?
Stoned and
It's
pissed.
not coming, Bob. Do they know
So
it's
what-
Christmas? Yeah, they know it's Christmas. They just don't fucking care, Bono.
I think this is
So RJ,
officially
where are you going?
our most controversial episode.
Good.
This one?
Yeah.
Because we took a stance?
We took a stance that we're pro-Christmas music and
I
anti-David
didn't
Bowie.
say that.
No.
Anti-David
Christmas
Bowie,
music.
pro-Christmas
I'd
songs.
say just based on Brian's question, it's our most controversial episode.
Brian, why'd you ruin
Probably.
our goddamn episode? We were
Yeah.
peacefully
I don't know,
talking
it's funny
about...
how, like...
We're on fire.
And it's great how like he asks these questions and they kind of line up with the topic at hand.
Well,
like we definitely talked about the electric chair earlier today, and we talked about the Christmas song being banned.
I feel like earlier in the sode, one of you two mentioned diddling kids, and I thought, like, oh Jesus, how do these guys know this? They peeked at the question.
I don't remember that.
yeah. Did we talk about diddling?
It was mentioned when the David Bowie shit came up. Yeah, he's a diddler.
If you go back to the previous 17 episodes, it probably came
diddling
up too,
comes up
like,
constantly. Yeah,
it's
one of my favorite words.
You know, it's unfortunate,
Diddling.
but it comes up.
And it's implied.
We're real about it though. It comes up.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
some real life talk.
Well, is that it?
Yeah.
Or-
Thank you, Brian.
You know who doesn't diddle?
You give us a
kids,
good
is,
15 minutes of content at the end of every episode, Brian. Keep them coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe some of our other viewers
If
will
anyone
feel
else
free
wants to chime in, pretty much email at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to answer 2 or 3 a fucking episode. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that'd be a great time.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't diddle children? It's Frontline Fiesta.
Frontline Fiesta supplying us
That's a
with
fact.
intro
Actually.
and outro music.
Yeah.
Hard
if you look
line
at their
they
if you
took.
look at their Wikipedia, it says we do not.
No diddling.
They have never diddled.
Diddled.
Never diddled.
Never diddled. Didn't
diddled.
even think of it once.
Never.
No.
No.
It's not even a joke.
Not even joking.
No.
They're not
This
David
is real
Bowie.
life.
They're not Michael Jackson.
They even watched the movie Broom, and they didn't think diddle once.
No.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. What a reference.
Wow.
I don't know.
We're pretty much
Why do you use the word
experts.
diddling,
Let's wrap this
dude?
up, boys, before we get fucking banned from Apple. Pretty much experts.
Yeah.
Follow us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Facebook, all of those things. Again, thank you, Frontline Fiesta. You're fucking great. And we'll be back next week. Peace.
Woo. See ya.
Diddle, diddle, diddle.
Oh, fuck off. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week. We are Pretty Much Experts. You can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are Pretty Much Experts, and we love you, I guess.